dream of vision. For vision, more fine lace, he can still bring his stuff. Yeah. This big Giants talk of New York with a skyline bleeds. Basketball dreams in the football seas. Got a mic in the hand and a vision that feeds. In the fantasy realms where the ghost dog leads. He's a shadow on the court and a phantom on the field. Timberland stomping, truth never concealed. Got my podcast lit, each story revealed. Talk Ryan legends and hoops that appeal.
Yes, sir. You know what time it is, man. Another one over here at GhostDog's Big Talk. A little bit of a breaking news situation over here. Well, not so much breaking because it happened yesterday. However, man, before we get into all that, before we get into the Giants conversation and the content, make sure you hit subscribe, especially if you feel that vibe. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to put in the work over here. You see the setup over here. Come on, man. Know what time it is. But yes, Giants fans, Giants faithful, GhostDog's Big Talk faithful. Bobby Okereke, aka Bobby O, is officially got his walking papers. Originally signed here back in 2023, 4-year deal, $40 million. 3 years in, 46 games played, 385 total tackles, 5.5 sacks, 4 interceptions with 4 forced fumbles to match. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? It means that he did okay given the circumstances, given the fact that when he was brought in here, it was a Wink Martindale's type of situation, given the fact that he had to deal with abysmal defensive coordination, right? Now letting him go frees us up for a cool $9 million for the cap space that we could put it somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? For even possibly for like another linebacker, because you know there's some names out here that I'm looking that look to me well worth it. However, before we get into them, Bobby O, we appreciate what you did over here. I wish things was different. However, man, peace be the journey, and I'm sure he's gonna do good somewhere else, despite the injury situations over here.
This is a
that being the case,
mixtape original.
I'm of the mind where, you know, I think some of those injury situations, he was kind of faking the funk. So, however, that's neither here nor there, which, you know, real quick, that's how usually it goes with garbage teams and defenses that end up quitting halfway through the season. But I digress. Few names out here, man, that we really got to keep an eye on. The big name, however, the one that it seems like it's really going to happen for the most part, is Trayman Edmonds, Chicago, 28 years old, 2-time Pro Bowler. He had like a 3-year contract. However, he was given permission by the team because it looks like to me they're trying to free up some cap space over there. For one reason or another, DJ Moore ended up going up to the Bills. So a lot of activity over there. And I think Trayman Edmonds, I think he's just going to be one of those cap casualty situations where, you know what I'm saying? Well, not casualty necessarily, because it will be a trade offer situation that, you know, and John Harbaugh, he's being aggressive right now. There's a lot of aggressive talk with linebackers. So right now, Trayman Edmonds seems to be the leader of the pack in those conversations and the noise, if you will. And personally, I would love to have that over here. Absolutely, man. We need a linebacker that can help with the run, especially with the run, which is what we need over here. And I think a Trayman Edmonds can do just that. Another big name out there, and possibly the biggest name out there, Art Stapleton alluded to the possibility that maybe, quite possibly, and it's a big if, Giants fans, 49ers might be willing to wheel and deal Fred Warner. Yes, that Fred Warner. 4-time Pro Bowl Fred Warner. 29 years old. Little bit of an injury situation there. However, bro, yes, if it is, man, look.
This is a GhostDog.
If John Harbaugh can bring a Fred Warner over here without necessarily selling us upriver from a draft pick perspective, I'm all over that. Pause. I'm all over that. In a heartbeat. Yes. let John Harbaugh land a Fred Warner. But again, it's a big if. That man is a cornerstone staple over there in that defense. And outside of just absolutely selling the farm, I don't see that happening. I mean, but anything is possible, right? According to Art Stapleton, that is. We'll see. Another name, which for me is a little bit of an interesting one, Devin Lloyd with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, he didn't get his fifth year picked up. Kind of had like not a great start to his career. However, this past season, with the Jaguars being one of the best defenses in the league, and Devin Lloyd had a little bit of a part to play in that. He's definitely earned his money in terms of contract negotiation. 35 solo tackles, 5 interceptions. And that's the thing. He's got like a good knack for coverage and making plays on the ball and coming over with the turnovers. However, we need a run stopper over here, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need like another turnover specialist at the linebacker position. We need somebody who's going to be able to get in that box or behind the line of scrimmage and cause chaos on the opposing team's run game. That's what we need. Absolute frustration and chaos is what we need. So, a Devin Lloyd, look, 27 years old, he's a young player. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But projected to be a 3-year, at least $60 million for him. Hey, look, man, again, we need a run stopper over here, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot stress that enough, right? So, yeah, man, stay tuned, stay tapped in. Quick little update over here with the linebacker / Bobby O situation. And expect more names to come out there, man. Expect the Wandell to be a cap casualty. I fully expect, outside of some kind of restructure deal, Slayton to be on that chopping block. I think Jermaine Illuminor, by strength of his position and the need at the depth of this O-line, I think he will be safe. I think he might be taking a home discount deal as well to make that happen. And also stay tuned, man. Kayvon Tibbs is still a name out there for trade purposes. You know what I mean? Like, there might be some teams that might be really inquiring for him. So just say something to stay tuned and tapped in for, man. You already know what time it is. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Hit the subscribe if you're new over here, especially if you felt the vibe. And yeah, man, what else can I say but a big blue salute and peace.
From the shadows of MetLife to Mike's last track, GhostDog repping Big Blue, never looking back. Podcast sales, that's deep in the fog. Gridiron echoes follow the phantom dog. Jersey glows under moonless skies. Fades with the beat, but never truly dies. He barks once loud, a New York anthem blast. That vanishes like stories from podcast past.
This is a GhostDog mixtape original.